The previous technique I did on the skirt was the technique, the copic coloring basic technique, from light until dark. And that is one of the techniques you can color with. With copic markers you can color a lot of different techniques. The second technique I want to show you in this video is the technique where you start with the darkest marker and you work from the darkest to the lightest. I will do this on the head of my little witch. I take the darkest marker of the gray tones. I want to make her head in grey black. In the grey tones in copic we have 4 different styles. I'll use the toner grey in this case. I'll have to put him this way, then I think I can color the best. You know my light source was coming from the upper left. Yeah? Now I decide where it should be light, there where the sun rays start or touch my image the first time. There where they leave my image, that should be the part where it is the darkest. I start with this side of the head and I take my T9, a little bit of the darkest here underneath this edge of her head. Then I take my T8 and I'll start a little bit in the T9 this way. Then I take my T6 and now I take my T4. I think then I have a black grey tone. For the upper part of her head I don't take the darkest colors. I start with the T6. So. Then I take my T4. I start with the T4 a little bit in the area I already covered with the T6. Now I take my T4, and then I take my T2, T0 at the end. These are the colors I use for this part. T4, I'm lying, T6, T4, T2 and T0. You can also, if you want, if the result is not the thing you expect it to be, you can start again and apply a little more of the ink. The same. It depends on the area that I need to color which technique I use. When it are larger areas I prefer the technique from light until dark. When I work in smaller areas I use the technique from the darkest color until the lightest, because this is so small it's more easy to work that way. Now I turn my image and I think I need it here a little bit more dark, therefore I take again my T9. This is the T9. And I put here a little bit of the T9 so that you have really a deep shadow over there. And I take the T6. In these smaller parts it's difficult to apply so much different marker tones. Then the T4 again. And at the end I want to have it very, very light. I take my T0 because the light rays or the rays of the sun are touching there my hair. I go over with a very dark T9 because I want to have more depth over here. And now you really can see that this part of the head is over the part here in front. So, now I need to color this area and that should be very dark again, because it's really in the shadow. Therefore starting with the T9 here and a little bit of the T4 or the T6 over here. More. I don't have more space for other colors. You see I've got a little bit gone over the line over here, therefore I need my blender, and with my blender I can remove the little stain over here. I take the broad nib and I push it back into the area where it belongs. So, now it's gone. Don't do it too far because then you remove your ink over here. If that's the case, you also can always can get a little more of the last color. Okay, that's that. Now I need to color this one, and the light was coming from here, therefore it should be dark here and it should be light over there. Therefore I start with the darkest, a T9 or a T8. I'm coloring again in this flicking motion. You see, not circles, but push the ink into the area. This one. Here. And it should be a little bit more dark. And now I need my lightest markers, that is the T2 and the T0, to apply here the lightest grey color. Now to get more depth, and I have a ply over here, I take the T9 to let you see that there is a little fold in the head. I'm working the best with all the markers in my hand. But need to be aware which marker I'm using, otherwise I use the wrong color. To blend it even, I make this small movement with my marker brush tip on the marker. Here I want to have more shadow. I take the T9 again. Give him a little bit extra. If this a little bit extra here, it could have a little bit extra. Most of the time I don't blend that again. And I think I'm done with my head. Look over here. This is the head and it's done in grey black. Thank you for watching this video. Next time we will show you how to color faces, how to color other parts of an image. Thank you again.